Greetings and welcome to the latest edition of Caring About Seniors. I am your host, Adrienne Houghton. Now, as you know, I sit down with Oasis Senior Advisors Jacksonville and we discuss all things to do with senior living. Today, joining me in the studio from Oasis is Bagocius, and our guest is Betty Bennett from Ruff Rubs. What does that have to do with seniors, we ask ourselves? Well, we're just about to find out. Welcome, Betty.
Thank you.
And good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, tell me what Ruff Rubs is.
Well, Ruff Rubs is a canine massage therapy business. And of course, with canine massage, we work mostly with older dogs, the ones that are maybe close to the end of their lives or have arthritis or different types of diseases. And we also work with younger animals as well, because the benefits that the dogs get are basically the same as the benefits as we get if we have a massage. So it relaxes them, it increases their blood flow, and it also helps their owners, because as we know, owners of animals almost take better care of their animals than they do of themselves. So when the animal is healthy, they feel more healthy.
Yeah. So tell me, have you always done this? Have you always worked with dogs?
No, actually I haven't. When I was a kid, I did want to be a veterinarian, but I sat in on a surgery when I was about 19 and decided, no, this is not for me. So I went into the education field, and I taught for 35 years before I retired from the University of North Florida in 2016. And once I retired, I decided that I still wanted to work, that I don't like just sitting at home. But that was my career before I got into Ruff Rubs.
And did you come up with this idea of massaging dogs, or is it something that's been around for years that is not widely spoken about?
It's actually been around for quite some time, but I went out searching because I wanted to work with animals now that I had an opportunity to reinvent myself at age 57. So I started looking into some different areas that I could go into where I could work with my furry friends, and I found a school in Sarasota that taught massage therapy for animals. And so a friend of mine and I started taking classes down there and did our 400 hours of certification and started the business, and that's where it went.
How fantastic. Now, I'm sure, although the dogs find it beneficial, do you teach something to do for the owners of the dogs to help them? Do you show them how to work with them? Because it must be therapeutic for the owners as well as the
It is.
The dogs.
And I've been very interested. Their owners of animals are just so interested in their quality of life.
Yeah.
And so when I come out to do the initial consultation and I do the study of the animal and watch their gait analysis and those kind of things, I can offer information to the owner as to particular types of therapies that they can use, whether it be heat or cold, or showing them different types of techniques that they can use for the animals.
Yeah.
And that puts a little bit more back into their hands so that they feel like they actually have a part of improving the quality of life for their animals.
How did you get involved with Ruff Rubs? Was it massage?
Yeah.
Betty and I met at a networking event, I believe in Clay County, several years ago. And I'm just enamored with that idea because, number one, people take better care of their dogs.
Yeah.
Seniors, that's their only lifeline. For many of them is their dog. And if you can make the dog happier, it's the best medicine for the senior. So I find what she does, and the reason why I wanted her here today is you can retire, but you don't have to expire.
Okay.
Oh, I like
Very
that
well
phrase.
said,
You
yes.
know, reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. I should be retired, but I love what I do. So why not keep doing it?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Wonderful.
Right.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Do you find that with your business that it's difficult to market, to get your name out there, to let people know what services you have available?
Well, I think with that, the difficulty in it is explaining to people and helping them to understand that this is a legitimate business. I know when I first mentioned to my husband that this is what I wanted to do, he laughed at me because he said massage for dogs, and that's kind of the general impression that other people have of it. But just getting that word out there and having opportunities like this, which I appreciate, to let people know that it is something that's very vital to an animal's life. Mm-hmm. And even if I've got some clients I see once a week, I've got some that I see once a month, some for specific disabilities or diseases, and it's beneficial for all of them.
Sure. So what other services do Ruff Rubs offer?
We also do pet sitting, and we can include the massage in with the pet sitting. And I also teach canine or pet CPR and first aid. For a company called Pet Emergency Education. I just finished teaching 65 people out at Canines for Warriors last week. So, and I love working with those people out there. They're just a shout out to those people. They're so passionate about what they do for dogs and for veterans.
Now, in front of you, you have a book.
Yes.
Tell me about this, because you wrote this book.
Yes, I did. When I was at UNF, I was kind of considered the expert on bullying there, and that was a passion that I had. My dissertation dealt with discipline and bullying and those kind of things, and we had some sad issues in my family that dealt with that as well. And so I wrote this about the time I was retiring, and my goal was to be able to continue my work with the schools and with the children, to get them to speak up if they're being bullied, to not hold it all inside, because that's where we come up with the dangerous situations that we have with students harming themselves or even committing suicide. Right. So I used this book to go out into elementary and middle schools and read it to the students as a way to start discussions, because it's about a little girl that gets bullied at school, and she comes home and she talks to her dog Millie. And it's encouraging them, no matter who they talk to, just to talk to somebody. And even just talking about it helps to internalize what's going on. And other people could hear them talking as well while she was talking to Millie.
Are you still going to the schools?
I have not. COVID kind of got in the way, but I would like to start getting back out in the schools. So I invite any teachers that would like me to come out just to get in touch with me and let me know. And I'd love to come out and talk to your students.
Absolutely. So we touched on it briefly, COVID. How did that affect your business?
I was able to stay in business, but I did lose some clients because they didn't, the idea that I don't have a brick and mortar shop. I actually go out to their homes where the dogs are more comfortable. So having someone coming into their home during COVID and bringing germs in and those kind of things. But since then, I have been able to build it back up. Of course, I lose a few, considering most of my animals are seniors to begin with. I lose a few through death, but I have been able to acquire more.
Yeah. And how have you found that this business enriches your life?
Oh my goodness. I absolutely love what I do. I've, as what Al said, reinventing myself. I wish I had found something like this earlier. Not that I begrudge being an educator, because I love that too, but just the joy that it brings to me to know that the animals that I'm helping are also helping their humans, and pet people are the best people in the whole world. They're just so kind and so nice, and Al seems to be like a pet person because he exhibits all of those characteristics.
And I'm sure the people that you come across, you're able to refer them to Betty.
Yes, and she hit upon a point that I'm a pet person, and I'm also a social media person, and put a plug in for my dog Teddy. He has his own Facebook page, and he has 206 active members.
Well, I'm sure that's more than a lot of people.
Oh yes, I've seen Teddy's fan page.
Just go to Teddy's fan page and you could sign up.
Oh, that's fantastic. That really is. So tell me, what's a typical day? I mean, there's probably not a typical day because each day changes. But what's a typical day for Betty?
Well, if I'm massaging, generally on one of my most typical days would be a Friday, where I've got a couple of clients at 3 o'clock, a Chihuahua and both of them are Chihuahuas. One was bigger than the other one. And then after that, that's out over in downtown. And then I drive to Doctor's Inlet, and I have Raven, one of my favorites, Rottweiler. just a sweetie and a half. And then over to Middleburg, and then I've got Daisy, who's a little beagle. And
golly gee, so that's all over the place, literally. And the area that you cover is
Greater Jacksonville, St. Augustine, Clay County. Downtown.
fantastic.
So I don't mind the drive because I get to work with the people, and like I said, I just absolutely love what I do.
Yeah, I think it's
people I work with.
yeah, I think it's super wonderful. So what advice would you give to someone who is thinking about retiring and is slightly nervous about perhaps giving up their regular normal routine?
I would say don't worry about it. That once you get into retirement, you can decide on whether you enjoy being just retired or whether you want to do something else. And it's a way where you can reinvent yourself and fulfill goals that you never thought you'd be able to do.
Yeah.
And it's just so rich, enriching. And you never want to lose the passion that you have for life. And when you feel like you're being able to do something that benefits others, whether it's dogs or people, do it.
And how do people find you? Because I know there's going to be people who are watching this and
I
they're
hope
saying,
so. I hope so.
I'd like the book. I'd like to have my dog have a Ruff Rub. So how do they find you, Betty?
Well, we actually have a website. It's www.ruffrubs.com. Very simple. I'm on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. And I'm on Yelp, and they can just Google Ruff Rubs and find us.
And that's RUFF.
RUFF.
Yes.
RUBS.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for having
It's
me.
wonderful to find out, and I'm sure you're making a lot of dogs very happy.
Thank you. They make me very happy too.
Good. Thanks, Al. Thanks, Betty.
Yeah.
And don't forget, if you'd like to know any more information, you can find it on www.ruffrubs.com or iwantabuzz.com. Bye for now.